Welcome to Whiskey Wednesday. How you all doing? We're not live this week. I'm going to record it because I've got quite a bit to be doing. So welcome, Whiskey Wednesday. Hope you're all well. We have this left over from last week. Aberlour, 12-year-old, so nice. And we have Shiny Precious Metals special gift that he sent me. Nice glass, thank you Shiny. And we have a rather large ice cube in it, courtesy of 365 Days of Silver. Cheers buddy. Just get this cork open. Oh, such a nice sound. Pour a nice small portion of whiskey. Maybe not. And we'll kick it off with a nice cheers to everybody. Cheers everybody in the community. Cheers to everyone that subscribes to the channel. Cheers to the people that don't subscribe but just still watch it anyway. Why don't you subscribe? For God's sake, mate. Subscribe, please. Like, share, all the normal stuff. Anyway, cheers as a rule to everyone. Thank you. So, as we always do every week, we have lots of people contributing to the backdrop. So we're going to go there as we do and say thank you, as we do every week. So down here we have, let's zoom it in, we have Cobra Stacker's Corner. I have Cobra there, all sorts of gifts that he sent me when he's been away. Very generous, very kind. Stack collector, represented by somebody chopping up a piece of wood, or a log, because that's what he does with the stack collector. We got Jim there, sent me that very nice piece from Australia. So that's always in the backdrop. Let's go round. We have Gold Silver Hunter. Thank you very much for sending that sticker, dude. That's really cool. Your time is now. GG, you're on the board. You're there, Scott Silver, back in business. Nice to see you up on the board as always. And then we've got Cider Sound Man. A handsome fellow he is. Oh my God, why did I just say that? It's a strange thing for me to say. But yeah, Si, you're up there now, mate. Thank you very much for that sticker. It's very nice. Very nice indeed. And then we have some gifts there. Backyard bullion pieces. One from the Stack Collector, which is hidden behind a camel there, I believe, or APM. Addicted to APMs is there. Stack Collector is there. Little 1 gram piece of silver. Very kind and very generous. Thank you for sending. Camel Finance, represented by the One Hump Daddy. Should be 2 humps, shouldn't it? Camel Finance, yeah, represented by the camel. Up on the board, we've got APM, we've got Addicted to Precious Metals, Cobra Stacker, CY Sterling, 365, Stacker Social, which you should all know I'm quite heavily, not heavily involved in it, but do use Stacker Social a lot. The Stack Collector, Stephen, Blistering Barnacles. I did put that sticker right, it keeps curling off. I have to put another one up. Nerd UK, oh mate, I've been talking to you a bit lately, it's really great. Now we've got Daft Precious Metals right there, which is great. CPM. Who's that? Oh, it's me. We've got a nice piece that I've won from Carduce Leather, which is Cider Sandman's company. Very nice indeed. Nice little coin pouch. Really lovely made. That sits right in the middle next to my whiskey barrel that Cobra Stacker very kindly sent me. I think he sent one to 365 as well. And then coming over here we have 365's Corner. Aberlour, one of my favourites. Anyway, 365, yeah, he sent me that silver certificate, which is really cool to have in the background. And then we've got everyone's poker chips that have sent me stickers, which is really nice. And then we've got obviously lots of beautiful coppery pieces. I love my kilos. Still missing the eagle. I'll have to get that at some point. The dragon, the panda, they're beautiful. Nice big lumps of copper. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, we've got all sorts of lovely coppery bits. Hopefully I haven't missed anyone out. And then we've got these beautiful dragons on the backdrop now. And we've got some 1 ounce bars. Obviously 1 gram gold bars. Nice bit of Indian gold there, which is pretty cool to have. And we've got a couple of bits, some poker chips and stickers. Oh, I don't know what my lube's doing there. And yeah, I love that. These are really nice. I've got to find these a proper home. It's upside down. What's that doing upside down? Let's put you up the right way. A beautiful piece of colouring on that piece of copper. Pop around, obviously a phoenix there, because I love the phoenix. That's going around the board. Let's come back out, not back in. So yeah, that is the backdrop introduction. All the people that have sent me stuff, which is brilliant, you know, it's unbelievable, incredible. I don't think, oh, I haven't had a whiskey since last week. It's lovely. Yeah, I don't think I've missed anyone out. So, as always, what's been going on since the last Whiskey Wednesday? Quite a bit actually, which is super cool. Oh, Stephen likes that. Yeah, what's been going on? We'll kick it off with last Friday. There was Copenhagen's had his auction, which I managed to jump into for a little while, and yeah, that seemed to go okay. I know Cobra's really busy at the moment. I don't know where he finds the time to slide these auctions in as well, and then to go off and, you know, hardly have any sleep and go off and do whatever, but he does. So yeah, no, I didn't buy anything. I'm trying to be really good to a degree. Then on what happened Saturday, guys, just a little thing. There's been this massive build up towards the Stackers Social. Little Stackers Social, just sitting there. Stackers Social 1 year anniversary. There's been a massive build up to it. And that was featured on the Stack Collectors channel. Quite rightly so. Couldn't be anywhere else. And yeah, that was an amazing night. I sat through practically all of it, which I don't normally do on a Saturday, but I couldn't miss this one. But what a good fun night it was. Stack Collector, amazing OBS backdrop. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I think it was a good 4.5 hours. Wasn't very entertaining. I did live stream it through Stacker Social Whiskey Lounge for a while, but I kept popping in and out because I knew a few people might want to, you know, there's always people that don't want to go on YouTube, so I live streamed it on there. We had a few people come in and they were chatting, but I was jumping in and out onto YouTube, back onto Stacker Social, onto YouTube, back onto Stacker Social, just to keep that going, which is great. The more exposure, the better. But yeah, what an entertaining evening. I did do a video on it the other day, showing my gratitude to all the hard work that obviously the Stack Collector put into you know, produce the thing. And I know from the little bits I do, you know, there's a lot of work goes into there. He pulled it off big time. All done, the Stat Collector. Cheers to you, dude. And great co-host, Si man. You didn't disappoint me, buddy. You slowly got pissed. And yeah, but very entertaining. And as I said on my video, you know, the guests on there, it was lovely to see Scott Silver and listen to Scott Silver, Silver Punk. Yeah, and I'm getting quite a nice dialogue with Silver Punk now, and it's really cool. Nice to see him on there. Obviously 365, Mega Backdrop dude. You've given me a lot of ideas for mine now. May need to get off my arse and do something with it. Dan Evans from Cardiff Gold, who obviously sponsored it. So yeah, it was an amazing night, absolutely amazing. Everyone seemed to enjoy themselves. The duck races were great as always. The giveaways were great as always. The final duck race was amazing. That didn't surprise, I mean, obviously it was a surprise for everyone, but it kind of doesn't surprise me that the Stat Collector would do that. What a sport, what an inspiration. Everyone's very lucky to have him in the community, really, to provide us with such solid entertainment. So thank you guys, everyone I've mentioned. I've already done it in a video, but I'll do it again on a Whiskey Wednesday because I like to do a recap. Thank you very much. And cheers to you all. Moving on from that, well actually, before I go on, and then we had a great after party in the Whiskey Lounge, and it's the most people that I've had visit in the Whiskey Lounge chat, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Getting some really good feedback from it. A lot of people really enjoying the fact that they've got somewhere to come and talk, and yeah, that's been. I'm really proud that I've you know, it's not anyone could open it up obviously and start a chat, but it's kind of cool that I instigate it and becoming a bit of a not an influence, that's the wrong word, but a bit of a. The Whiskey Lounge is becoming a bit of a go-to place for you know, good interaction, which is really cool. It's what I really wanted to achieve on Stacker Social, which is why I pleaded with the guys to give me a lounge, and they gave me a voice chat. So yeah, again, thank you very much and cheers. That's working really well. But what was really nice, there was quite a few people in there. We had a good chat. Sire was fading in and out. He'd obviously done his bit, you know, it's a fair play for him to pop in there. But yeah, we had a good old chat, we had a good old natter. I think I finally come off at, I don't know, 1:30 in the morning, and left the guys to it. Yeah, had some dialogue with people that I would only normally probably talk to via messaging and leaving comments. So yeah, it's really nice to actually talk. I'm a bit old school, me. I'm really firm believer in chatting, actually listening to someone talk. So that's really great to have that opportunity and medium down there to for people to come and use, and it's getting more popular. So look forward to seeing you in there. Just look out. I open the chat up quite often. Normally when I'm doing something on the computer, I just leave it running in the background. If someone wants to pop in, they can, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Then on Sunday, I think everyone had a hangover, probably from the night before. What have I done since? I've done a few videos, released a few videos, obviously on my latest pickups. So yeah, kind of enjoy that because I can be quite creative with that sort of stuff. Get some good lighting going, have a good old natter, put some videos out there, which is great, absolutely great. Other than that, I've just been watching. It's been a bit quiet on YouTube from the regular people that I follow. I'll give a shout out to a few people. As always, your time is now. Guna Girl, love your content. Pretty consistent in what you're putting out there. Yeah, I like to follow her content because I find that inspiring as well. Her backdrop is really changing, and it's really lovely to watch and see someone put in a bit of creativity, because that's what I do, into their presentation. I'm not saying that's something you have to do. It's all by choice, but obviously for me, it's I love that creative side of people. So I'm really enjoying that. It's good to see Gordy's come back a bit. Had a bit of a break out of things. Notice he's started to put some videos together. BBA, you know, I can keep going on and on and on. Great dialogue with Luke, as always. I've had great dialogue with quite a few people in Stacker Social and on my channel, so I'm really grateful for it. I'm really enjoying it, and there's good things coming, which is great. So that's that really. That's almost leads us up to today. The What podcast been a bit quiet lately, purely because it's been a little bit difficult for me to get the relevant people on because of work commitments, holidays and bits and pieces. But that's going to be one of those things during the summertime. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. What podcast? But what I did manage to do is I had a creators chat with Jumping Into Silver, which is great. Absolutely brilliant. Really enjoyed it. It was absolutely fantastic. Now, this one's been a bit of a while coming. We've had to work out a few technical things. We've done a few tests and a few trials, and we finally managed to get that going. And Jumping was on my What podcast yesterday, and yeah, I had an amazing chat with Jumping. Thank you very much, Jumping, for coming on. It's a really interesting story. It will be out this Saturday morning. I would highly recommend, if you like that sort of thing, but I'd highly recommend listening to his journey. It's really interesting. It's very inspiring for me to actually sit and listen to people's journeys. The common denominator is the journeys that I listen to from lots of people are pretty similar. All depends how old we are, of course, but they're pretty similar. But the only difference is the experience. Maybe what people go through is different, but the effects of everything on us individually are the same, practically, which I find absolutely fascinating and interesting and very inspiring indeed. And it takes some bravery to do that. There is absolutely no pressure from my point of view. I'll give you a bit of an insight of what happens, just in case people are wondering. Now, obviously, people approach me and I approach them and just say, like, kind of, do you want to do this? And then I don't care how long it takes. We spend some time and overtime. It can be a week. Jumping, it was a couple of weeks. Just trying to get an idea of how we can talk about certain aspects of our journey, what we want to talk about, and then try and make it into a video. So there is absolutely no pressure from my point of view on how, there's no format as a rule. There's, you know, at the end of the day, all I ever want to do on there is to make someone comfortable, so they can freely express and talk how they want to talk. and in a condition where they're under no pressure whatsoever. So, and that seems to be working, and it seems to be working really good. And I wanted to say that just in case other people are just like, oh, I don't want to come on there. I get it. I get why people can be a little bit sort of intimidated by all this sort of stuff. But hopefully, you know, if you're thinking about it and you just want to come on and have a chat with me, you know, talk to the people that have been on, and I think you'll find that hopefully, I haven't heard anything contrary to it. Hopefully it's quite a nice experience, and it's one that you know, it gives us all some inspiration. It gives us all some confidence to carry on doing what we're doing, and I think that's really important, especially in this day and age. So yeah, that was really great. Really enjoyed it. Jumping in silver, yeah, great story. He's going to come back on. There's quite a few of my guests are going to come back on. We'll rotate through the system and continue and update our journeys, you know, as we go along. And it's a medium for people to be able to do that. So that's really cool, really great, really superb. So that brings us up to today. Whiskey Wednesday, not done it live. Didn't want to do it live tonight. I've got a lot to do. Let's move on now. My weekly stacking challenge for new people and to inspire new people, which is, as we know by now, or we should know by now, but for people that don't, I've set myself a challenge to stack 1 ounce of silver Britannias, as if I was a new stacker, to encourage people, inspire people that you don't have to spend lots of money. You can see all these goodies out in front of you, and anyone that's followed my channel probably seen quite a bit of my stuff over time. But it ain't about that. It ain't about it. It's about individuals. It's about learning. It's about educating ourselves, and it doesn't matter what circumstance. To a degree, it doesn't really matter what circumstances we're in. We can all do this stacking. We can all do this preservation of wealth. We can all do it if we don't. So I want to encourage people to do that. And the only way I can do that is to show that I will buy 1 ounce of silver a week. So I've been doing that. I've been collecting up the change and buying extra bits with the change. But, you know, for Stephen provides me with these. I've had a few from Atkinson's, just to show that, you know, I can do it from Atkinson. It doesn't matter where you get it from. Just to get started, it's just good to get started. So yeah, 1 ounce a week, which I know a few people are doing as well, which is great. And yeah, we got up to 11 ounces. Then we had a little bit of a hiccup with a post, and last week's didn't come. And guess what? It still hasn't come. So I have no idea what's happened there. Stephen has no idea. Stephen feels really bad. I've said to him, like, dude, don't feel bad. I know Stephen's one of the most trustworthy people that I've met, especially regarding if he says he's going to do something, he does it, and he's done it for me multiple times. He sold me quite a few £1,000s worth of stuff privately for my collections. It's all been good, so I have no problem. But he's worried about it, which I get. But it's obviously a bit of an issue. It's probably, I don't know, a label might have come off and it's just sitting in the post office somewhere. We haven't been doing special deliveries, so we haven't been recording it. Was that a mistake? The thing is with that, yeah, maybe it was a mistake, but it always bumps the price up. And the whole idea of this is to keep it as cheap as possible for people. But it's a good exercise, because possibly if we're relying on third party, I know Stephen's good, I'm good, but obviously we're relying on third party in between, and sometimes that can break down. As a rule, it doesn't, but every now and then it could do. I've had a few things from a few people that have gone astray, but they've turned up eventually. So, but Stephen's been really worried about that, obviously, and I get that, but it's not an issue. It really isn't an issue from my point of view. I know he's good. The next one, obviously, so I'm 2 behind at the moment, but we're sorting that out. And then I thought, oh crikey, if this next one doesn't turn up, then I think we've got an issue in the post office somewhere. But thankfully this one turned up, so it's all good. It's obviously, the other ones will hopefully, the other 2 will hopefully turn up at some point. But yeah, we've got that. So please, Stephen, if you're watching, I know we've talked outside of this, you know, don't worry about it, dude. It's shit happens, you know, shit happens, and we have to deal with it, and we have to get over it, and we have to possibly, if there's anything to learn from it, we have to learn from it, and just move on. It's definitely worth just thinking about what you're doing, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. Anyway, what we up to? We've got to pretend as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Isn't that beautiful? In no time, 11 ounces. Plus 2, which are in the ether at the moment, plus this one. So we're going to open this one up, which we can. And hopefully inside is another envelope, because Stephen always wraps up his stuff lovely. A bag within a bag. Oh, it's from Jards. No, it's from Stephen, which is brilliant. And this is number, this will be number 14 ounces. And this year's 2020 beautiful Britannia to go in our 1 ounce a week stack, which is great. Piece of silver. It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful, and it's just mounting up. It doesn't take long, guys. It really doesn't. Just that little bit of discipline. So if anyone's wondering, I'm going to answer it. Oh, how far are you going to go? Well, the principle of what I'm going to try and do is fill a tube, which Stephen supplied, which holds 21 ounces. We'll fill that, and then I think that is a good base stack to work from. And then we'll probably reevaluate our strategy and obviously continue to do our 1 ounce, but we might integrate 1 gram of gold to try and bring some balance of gold to silver to our portfolio, which kind of makes sense. I think, this is my personal opinion, if I started again, I would, knowing what I know now, I would probably introduce gold earlier than waiting before we get, I don't know, 50 ounces, 75 ounces, 100 ounces. The whole principle of this is just to get used to that under £30 a week at the moment. You know, from Stephen, and I know on Cobra Stackers Auction you can pick up 1 ounces every now and then under £30. So it's a good place to go from people that you trust, or even if you go to the, you know, not necessarily the Royal Mint because you're paying more, but you can try and keep around that £30 mark at the moment. You're doing good, you're doing well. So what we're going to try and do is get that tube filled. So we've got a base stack, what we call a base stack, and then we can like think, wow, you know, we've got a nice hefty 25 ounces, and then we can move on to maybe, and it all depends on your circumstances, of course. There's nothing stopping you doing for whatever. I'm not your daddy, you do whatever you like, but this is to encourage people just to get their toe in the pond of, you know, saving your time and energy into precious metals. So maybe once we get that full, which won't take long because it's building up as it is, we might introduce a very small denomination of gold and try and work that into our portfolio build slowly, whilst we're you know, introducing silver on a regular basis, because we're getting used to doing that 1 ounce a week. I think that's really cool. I think that's how I would probably start again from a real basic point of view on a limited budget. So that's how that's going. So that's really great. I'm really pleased with that. I'm sorry I can't have those extra 2, but it's all in hand and it will all add up in the end at some point. So thank you very much, Stephen, as always, for your support. And I'd also like to thank especially Silver Punk, because he's joining me on that journey and he's actually doing it as well. And I'd love to hear if anyone else is doing that as well. Yeah, please comment. It's important, especially in today's day and age. For sure, you've got to preserve. Well, you haven't got to. You do what you like. Obviously, I keep saying that, but it's true. But if you can preserve your time and energy, what do I mean by time and energy? That's your effort going out to earn fiat currency, which is our pounds in the UK, dollars in the US, euros in the Eurozone, etc., etc. Our currency that we use as an exchange mechanism for products and services, as a rule. That's what I mean by time and energy. It's nice to be able to store it, and we can just store it for sure. Now, I'm just going to let you know as well, a few people have been talking about Bitcoin with me recently again, which is cool because it's always in the back of my mind. It's, you know, it's getting out there. It's more in the mainstream talk now. It's in the financial talk, and lots of people ask me about, oh, it's, you know, one of the most common things. If you're interested in Bitcoin, you need to really educate yourselves. But I think I will be producing some more content on basics of Bitcoin very soon as well, probably on the podcast. But what was I trying to say? Yeah, even I've had a few people saying, oh, it's too expensive, and, you know, 40,000-50,000 pounds for one Bitcoin. Well, you don't have to buy one Bitcoin. It's divisible by 100 million, what they call sats. So it breaks it all down, and you can buy a pound if you want to. I'm sure you have to look at the costs of that, but I still buy every day a very small amount every day, DCA into it, and I find that just as helpful as what I'm doing here. You know, I can buy 1 ounce of that a day, but I can buy a very small fraction of Bitcoin every day as well, or week. Sorry, that's 1 ounce a week, obviously. But you can buy a very small fraction of Bitcoin a week or a day, which is what I do. So it all helps. You don't have to have lots and lots of money. You can invest at a very small level in these things, in precious metals. And I know times are hard. I know the times are tough, but you know, I've been very fortunate at this stage of my life. I wished I'd done this a lot earlier, you know. You know, it's up to you guys, obviously, but you can do it. You can do it. You can put those little bits away if you can. If you've got that spare money within your budget, daily, weekly, monthly, whatever you do, it can all be done. It can all be done. Because you might be like me and get up to the ripe old age of whatever and regret it. Cheers. So that's that. I'm really pleased with that. That's going well. Can't believe it, actually. I have to pick it up because it's so cool just to handle and listen to it. It's mad. Mad, it's mad, it's mad. It doesn't matter whether it's 1, 2. You can do the same with 2. You know, 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 3, 3 becomes 4. You know, you've heard me say it. Really good. There is no excuse other than ourselves, really. And with the exception of certain circumstances, of course, I recognise that big time, absolutely big time. So yeah, that's going well. It won't be long, as time flies by. What we got, what did I say we're up to? 11, 12, 13, 14, so we've got another 11 weeks. And you know, that tube is full. So 4, 8, 12. So yeah, it should be full before Christmas. You know, so it doesn't take long. It really does not take long, and you are not wasting your money. I can almost guarantee you're not wasting your money, because you will preserve your money in something, and you'll have something to show for it. May go up, may go down, but over time, you need quite a bit of time, but over time, at least you preserved it and found a way of preserving it. And yeah, can't speak any highly about the subject more than that, really, to be fair. But do your research. Got to do your research. Going forward, what we got going forward now, I've been really thinking about my studio. I've been really thinking about creative precious metals. I have a lot of ideas. Running 2 channels is, well, running 1 channel's time consuming enough, and also running your business and being a husband and all that old jazz is very time consuming. But I've been really thinking seriously about how I want to do things going forward, how I can improve what I'm doing, because that's great, keeps the old brain going. So with that, and especially with the What podcast, probably I'm going to set a period of time over. I will carry on doing what I'm doing, but in the background I will be probably trying to change what I'm doing. It's going to be a bit difficult because I'm going into a very busy time of year for me as a business, but I'm going to slowly try to improve the visual and the information that I want to portray on my channel, on the Creative Precious Metals, so that there should be some exciting. I'm really excited about it. There should be exciting changes going on with CPM channel, and with the podcast, that's gonna get a massive what's the word I'm looking for? A massive the word is in front of me, but I can't see it. It's really ridiculous. That's going to get a massive makeover in the build up to winter period, and probably in the early part of autumn, maybe through the autumn period in the background. The production of it is going to change. I've got to try and keep the content going, so it's going to be a little bit of hard graft, and it may mean that over a period of time the content may not be as consistent on both channels as much as I want it to be, but there's only enough time in a day, and yeah, well, basically I'm really dead excited. There's a whole new concept coming to the podcast, and I really want to I mean, I've run this. It's amazing how quick the time goes. I've run this sort of display for quite a while, and I want to improve it. I want to make it a bit more visual. I want to make it a bit more interactive. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it, but I think you need to be fresh and maybe not lose the consistency of the channel, but just freshen things up a little bit. We'll see where that goes. So yeah, it's really exciting. I'm dead excited about the podcast. There's some amazing things that are going to happen on there. And of course, I've introduced myself into Stacker Social too. And that's, as I've said before, and I've spoken about quite a bit recently, it's sort of blown my mind, because I wasn't expecting it to, with the possibility of the growth factor of what's going on there, and how I can interact all of my content with it. I can't say too much about it, but yeah, I'm so excited about it, and it's you know, I've got to thank 365 here. I've got to thank a lot of people really, because of my journey, but I've got to thank 365 because he produces things, I don't know how, but he produces things that sometimes I sit there and think, what are you doing, you know, and why are you doing it? And then it sort of clicks in my head, and I get it. I have to look at it from a different point of view, not my point of view. I look at it a different point of view, look at trying to, you know, trying to understand what he's trying to do, and the guys are trying to do on there. And it clicked with me all of a sudden. I don't know, about a month and a half ago, I think I did a video on it, and it just clicked on me, and I thought, hey, yeah, I get it now. I see the value in not only for creators, but the value for people within the community at whatever level of the medium of what they've set up is providing. I just got it, and now I'm trying to, because of what I'm trying to do with Creative Precious Metals, and what especially the What podcast, I wasn't expecting that, and now I'm trying to incorporate how I can, you know, bring all of these different factors in the community into what I'm trying to achieve, and make it of value to the community as well. So yeah, that's absolutely got my mind going. I think I said to Mrs. CPM yesterday, I said, this is really good for me, because it's keeping me alive, it's keeping my brain going. Yeah, I'm loving it. It's giving me a purpose again. So yeah, really looking forward to that a lot. So probably over the next 6 to 8 weeks, content might be a bit, maybe not quite as consistent, but that's the reason why I'm not going anywhere. I'll try and be as supportive as I can, as much as I can, but in the background I'm slowly going to put into practice all my ideas, and it's going to take a bit of creation, especially running. I look at Stackers Social as another channel now. Cheers. And you know, I've got interaction with all three now, so yeah, yeah, like I've always said, you've got to put in the graft, you've got to put in the work, and yeah, it's bloody exciting, to be fair. Very exciting indeed. So this will bring me to the end of my Whiskey Wednesday this week. I kind of feel like, you know, as you go through, the summer's finishing. Look at those. I just so wish they weren't empty. That'd be really cool. Yeah, the summer's, it's been an interesting year really, and as we're going into, I always like springtime, not spring, autumn, but it's kind of the beginning of the old, the new going out, and the old going out, the new ideas from spring of this year, summer of this year, and then you sort of the new ideas are starting to go out, and you have to think about what you're going to do, and there's a big thing out with the old in with the new, and I'm already pre-thinking about next year, and I think that's not a bad way of looking at things. I always had to do that with my business that I run, because it's very seasonal. And I'm kind of using that ethics in looking at what I'm trying to do with my channels, my personal investments, everything I'm doing really. So yeah, it's quite cool. It's I'm getting a bit of that little bit of get up and go back in to my life. Thank you to the community and the inspiration I get. I'm just going to say there's a few people, no, it's more than a few people actually, I read. I might not say a lot on Stacker Social, but I do read a lot of people's interactions, and I can honestly say with a hand on my heart, it's in there somewhere, I think I got one, my wife tells me I haven't, but I can say on my hand on my heart, there's some really great content going on in there, and really great stories, some really interesting personalities, and I'm finding it really inspiring to kick me along into thinking of how I can be of use in all the different things I'm trying to produce. So and that's got me really excited. Sounds a bit wrong, doesn't it? Because I don't mean excited. I mean excited. As in, getting this thing working again, getting this thing working in a way that has allowed me to run a successful business for quite a long time now. Yeah, so yeah, it's really good. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. I'm looking forward to the autumn, looking forward to the winter, looking forward to a bit of old-fashioned hard graft more than anything. That's dead exciting. It's going to push me. For sure, absolutely for sure. I keep looking at my backdrop while I'm just finishing my whiskey and rambling on a little bit. I keep looking at my backdrop, and just it's a constant reminder for me that for anyone thinking getting back to just building something from nothing, it's amazing with a bit of effort and a bit of fortune, sometimes a bit of luck, riding that luck, riding that effort that you put in. Yeah, it's bloody amazing. It really is amazing, and it opens up an avenue of possibilities that maybe you don't think you would experience, and yeah, it's mad. It's absolutely mad. I look at my backdrop now and I think, just the backdrop alone is an amazing thing for anyone to want to collect or stack. And knowing that I've got, unfortunately not here anymore, but knowing that I can put together a wonderful display of stuff. And we forget how hard we've worked for that stuff until we actually look at it. Because I'm sure many of you put it all away safely, quite rightly so. But once you start having a visual, which I'm doing now, you can't see it now, you've just been looking at it for the last half an hour. But once you start looking at it, it's a constant reminder of how we store our time and energy. And yeah, I think you should be very proud of what you're doing, whatever you're doing at whatever level, really and truly. It's amazing. So yeah, I kind of feel like this is like a part of my journey, that I've got to a certain stage and now I'm going to kick it on to something new. And I find that really exciting. I don't know what that's going to be exactly until it unfolds. But you don't know, do you? You just don't know where your journey's going to take you. But you mustn't forget to just give yourself a bit of time to actually look at what you've achieved, regardless of what it is. Yeah, it's a bit emotional. And I'm not sure at a younger age I would have appreciated that, but I definitely appreciate it now, that's for sure. So it's all good. Sounds like I'm signing off and not coming back, doesn't it, really? But it's not. I'm just realising actually through this whole Whiskey Wednesday, I'm realising this is just the start of a new beginning for me. And yeah, it's, you know, even like from, sorry, I'm rambling because I want to finish with the whiskey, but even like, yeah, you can look at the physical side of what you've achieved, but having that reminder, I didn't really see the value in the poker chips, the stickers, obviously, I guess. And I fully understand it's great exposure to the different channels. I really get that now. But, you know, from all of these people that have sent me stuff, I have dialogue with, which I never had dialogue with before. And it's not been bad at all. It's all been good. And that has a massive effect, and it plays a massive part from a value point of view. I know I go on about the most valuable thing is you, but also it's all the people that you're interacting with as well, because they bring value too, and they're just as valuable. So yeah, it's good. It's really good. Dead excited. What a great way. What a great way to go into the autumn of 2024. There is a lot of uncertainty out there. I noticed a chat on Stacker Social today. There was a few people talking about having to sell some of their stuff to maybe with the cost of living and everything, maybe just have to sell some of their stuff. And they were saying, oh, it's a shame. But, you know, at the end of the day, it is, I suppose it is what it is, you know, and thank God if that's the case, then you've managed to store some of that money into something. It's not all about making, it ain't all of life. It's not all about being a millionaire, I can assure you of that. It really isn't. True value is beyond money. It really is. It's about how you go about storing your time and energy, nothing more, nothing less, and never forgetting that there's things outside of money that are more important. We don't often see that in ourselves, but trust me, there is. There really is. And it's trying to get that balance in your life, and that takes time. It really does take time, but it's definitely worthwhile if you can try and find some balance. But yeah, anyway, what I was thinking about, I'm going off tangent here a little bit. I'm rambling because I'm just trying to finish my whiskey more than anything. But yeah, I noticed that we potentially looking at the markets at the moment. I don't know. I haven't got a crystal ball. Quite a few people ask me, oh, especially about silver. Do you think silver's going to go up? I don't think that's the sort of thing you need to concentrate at this time at the moment. I think you need to be comfortable with what you're doing in a financial way. I think it's very important to make sure that you try to have some sort of cash, some sort of emergency fund for the what if things get really bad, if the money bubble pops. If you don't know what I mean, you need to be doing a little bit more research. We can't. There's another thing I've learned in time. We can't expect the money bubble to just be continuously good to us. You can't. And if you do, you might find yourself in a bit of trouble. So you have to look outside of that a little bit and just calm things down a little bit and not panic. This is why I go on about the 1 ounce a week thing. I see the value in that. Quite often on part of my journey, I've just gone, oh yeah, mad. I mean, crazy without really understanding what I'm trying to achieve. But the value of just, doing a little bit often far outweighs having to, oh, this is what I've got. I've got 100 ounces, I've got 200 ounces, I've got 300 ounces, I've got 400. And it's no different to saying I've got a 3-bedroom house, and I've got a 4-bedroom house, or I've got the latest car, or, you can treat silver, it can become the same issue, or gold, or anything you're doing. And from an investment point of view, but the trick is not to go down that avenue. The trick is to find a balance across it all, and just be a little bit honest with yourself, because the money bubble, when it's good, which is totally out of our control, is good. It's great. We all kind of want to do what we want to do, and hopefully, with circumstances are okay, then the situations allow us to do that. But you've got to think about when it doesn't do that, how's that going to affect me? And if it's going to have a major impact on your life, then maybe we've done something something wrong. We haven't provided that little bit of an aspect to protect ourselves when the money bubble's not quite there. And I haven't, as I said, I haven't got a crystal ball, and I'm mumbling on a little bit, and I'll wrap it up in a minute, don't worry. I haven't got a crystal ball, but it seems like we're going to go through, and anyone that follows my channel wouldn't understand this. It seems like it's still on. We're going to go through an uncomfortable period that we may have to get used to for a little while before that all changes around again. So you need to prepare yourself for that, for sure. You need to protect yourself a little bit, for sure, if you can. Yeah, it's really important. So enough said. I think I've almost drunk all my whiskey. Cheers to everyone. Hope you've had a good summer. Here's to autumn, and here's to winter. New beginnings starting. All goes really quick. And I'm around. Hit me up on Stacker Social Whiskey Lounge. CPM chat. I'll be on there every now and then. Please come and have a chat, please, if you want to. If you're, you know, as I say to everyone, I'm not your daddy, but I'm here. You can treat me with that, how you will treat me as you find me. I definitely would like to try to bring value to as many people as I can for the rest of the time that I've got here on this planet, and I'm working out how I can do that the most effective way possible. But one of them is Stacker Social. Thanks, guys. To open up that medium for people to talk, not only with me but with other people, because we can learn so much, for sure. Done. Thank you. I rambled enough. I've finished it off. Take good care. See you all soon. Look after yourselves. And I've enjoyed this year so far. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.